this big gigantic couch and every subscriber is sitting on it and we're just like watching TV together and hanging out, and I want that to feel this way. Hey little buddy. What's up, peeps? All right. So, a couple days ago, I finally got to see Baepsae. And it was awesome. Got me up and moving back there. Solid. What a great song. But even though I got into the lyrics a little bit, I watched it again, really dug it. A lot of things I missed. Well, I'm sure there were, but before, like, I don't know. A bunch of people said, check out the DKDK TV explanation about the song. Well, you know me, I love information. So we're going to check this out. And then afterwards, because apparently this dance practice, which is what I watched. Oh, wait, you can't see that. Bloop. This is what I watched. Loved it. It was so fun and playful with a solid meaning. But apparently the live of this is pretty awesome. So that's what we're going to try to dig around afterwards. Let's learn some stuff, shall we?
In light of BTS's new comeback, we are taking a look at their fiercest and most political song,
Fiercest.
Baepsae. First of all, you need to know this Korean idiom. 뱁새가 황새를 따라가면 다리가 찢어진다. It means when you try to do something that's out of your reach, out of your capabilities, then you will likely fail. Crotites or Baepsae have short legs, but storks have very long legs. So obviously a crotite trying to catch up to a stork will likely fail. Here the storks are referring to people in power, the big companies, conglomerates, and older generations. And in this video, I will focus on the last meaning of older generations because the previous two meanings have been covered a lot by other explanations.
Oh man, I can tell you right now, when this is over, I'm gonna have some stuff to say. I can just feel it.
Here, BTS is using crotites as a metaphor for the younger generation, or the millennials of South Korea. They are trying very, very hard to catch up with their parents' generation, the baby boomers, or the storks. They also use another metaphor of teacher to refer to the older generation who are born with a golden spoon. They say this because during the ages of the baby boomers in South Korea, they were experiencing huge economic growth and it was extremely easy to get jobs, get housing, and stuff like that. But the economy in South Korea is now at its maturing stages, and the side effects of ultra-fast economic growth have boomeranged to haunt the current generation. Currently, the millennials are facing extremely high pricing of houses, as well as high disparity between the rich and the poor, and also extreme all-time high youth unemployment. In this verse, BTS addresses the social injustices that millennials commonly face in Korean society. For example, passion pay. This is a very common practice in Korean society where companies basically pay young workers below minimum wage or nothing at all in return for experience. The company's logic is because they are offering a job and an experience that many young people have passion for, they are the ones that are actually doing the service for the young people.
Okay, so I have to ask, is this the same thing that like in America, we have interns, right? And I think I've talked about this before. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was on, I have no idea. But I mentioned interns. Like you're working essentially for free because it's maybe possibly a job later if you do a good job, or I don't know. But I had never heard this before.
Sede is another newly made word that is used to describe the millennials of this decade. They are...
Okay, I gotta turn these captions off because they're killing me. Like, he's speaking English. I don't know why I need the captions.
A generation that have basically given up what many consider to be basic human rights and wants because of extremely high youth unemployment rates and also very low wages compared to living costs. We have many different variations of Mpo 세대 to describe the millennials of South Korea. It originally started from Sampo 세대, which is used to describe the millennials that have given up dating, marrying, and giving birth due to economic instability.
Wow.
Then it evolved to Opo 세대, which added giving up employment and buying your own house. And then it evolved into 칠포 세대, which added human relationships and hope. Now the word Mpo 세대 is most commonly used because they have basically given up all their dreams and hope. In these lines, BTS talks about their want to change the system. The word 정상 in the last lines has a double meaning. First, it means normal, and second, it means top. So basically, not only is BTS talking about how this is not a normal situation, society is sick, but also they are saying we are not at the top yet and we have to push further. Here, BTS addresses how the older generation blames the millennials for their struggles, saying that it is due to a lack of effort. The word 노력 is pronounced 노력 by BTS, and this is a very commonly used internet slang among millennials to sarcastically describe how the older generation blames them for the lack of effort. Baby boomers often neglect the fact how society is completely different now compared to when they were growing up. And also the economic situation is completely different. They also neglect the fact that a lot of the economic problems that these millennials face today were in fact caused by baby boomers. For example, housing prices that are extremely high so that millennials have basically given up buying their houses. These were driven up by baby boomers buying multiple houses in speculation and for investment purposes. Yet many baby boomers simply neglect the fact and tell the millennials that they should try harder, work harder, so that you can perhaps buy a house 20 years later. On the surface level, these lines just simply seem like a cry for help, a call for a helping hand. However, the word Baepsae in the very last line is a very clever play on words. Basically, this word would sound like a curse word to the Korean ear. It sounds very, very similar to shipseya or keseya, which are both very serious curse words in South Korea. So not only are they crying for help, and not only are they asking the crotists to unite, but they are also calling the older generations.
Wow. First, let me say,
In South Korea, the older generation,
from a not production standpoint, but from a, I don't know, the way that, is this Danny Kim, is that right? Somebody either I guess that makes sense. David Kim, Danny Kim. Somebody either told me or maybe it was in the description. I don't know. But the way this was presented, love it. I love it. And then I had no idea. And that's probably why so many people were like, hey, you need to watch this because there's a whole bunch more you ain't getting. And that's, for me, has been trying to find the balance between listening to a song, reading the lyrics, probably watching the song again, watching the music video, and kind of doing my own thing. I think, in the old days, I went a little bit too far towards the deconstruction and the interpretation and whatever, and probably bored a lot of you. I mean, we had a lot of fun, but I'm sure there were times when I was a little bit too deep, and even me, like, okay, that's enough, bro. Just click, 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 click. I get it. Totally get it. But that being said, I kind of came back the other way, and now I kind of have this formula of I do a reaction, like a quick, direct, to the point. Here's the song one time for the most part. I end it. I kind of give a couple thoughts, and then bam. And there's my quickie. And I can shoot that out there, and then if people want the little bite-sized piece, there they go. But then Roscoe, right after that heart finishes, bing, here comes Roscoe again. Well, let's get a little deeper, shall we? And then I can go run amok in Roscoe Playland of madness. And this is the kind of stuff, like, I miss those days of interpreting and literally trying to find a message in the most ridiculous things. I miss that. What was it the other day? I said, I'm like, it's a rubber band, bro. It's just a rubber band. And then a lot of you were like, is it though? And I'm like, oh, don't tell me that. But I do miss it, and I kind of want to go back to it. So knowing, though, let me throw out this disclaimer. Knowing that a lot of things that I watch, first thing that comes to mind is on the Kinetic Manifesto film. Them with the, who was it, UCLA, and there were a couple groups there with them, the band and the dancers. That whole thing, I thought there was like a hidden meaning behind the whole thing, the choreography, the angles of the cameras, who was up front and what they were saying. It was nonsense in the long run, but I had an absolute blast trying to interpret some level of symbolism in this. Now, even though it was completely wrong, I do find it interesting that in that video, some of you were like, never really thought about it that way. Maybe, I like that. That's discussion. That's, what do you call it? You're making somebody think. I don't know what the word is. I'm not good with words, obviously. But the depth of this song, the power behind the message, the bravery and boldness that it takes to put this out there, and the way that they did, woo, man. Oh, here I go rambling. We got to watch a live. This is going to be interesting because I don't know which one to watch. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we know the lyrics already. So I don't know if we need... Oh, we have it there. Oh, yeah! 10 million views 3 years ago. Bunkton's Corner. Oh, moment of truth. Is this potato? Let's find out. Let me give you the full screen. We've got subs already built in. 1080. I think we're good. Are you ready for this? I'll give you a little more. Oh, and a little more. Oh. Let's get it. Woo.
Hey, 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 hey. They call me Baepsae. We're watching sexy. Valley chasing. What's it talking about? Take on me Baepsae. Your body is sexy. Valley chasing. You're security and I'm next to sing. All the gammon. It's on pay. Go gammon. Hey, sensei. Sunset dude. Hey, hey. All of this on the left and pussy. Boom, bop. Change, change. I see you don't want it. Bang, change. 그렇게는 안 되지. Bang, bang. 이건 정상이야. 이건 정상이야. 너는 다른 척들만 더. 하고 그라지 너는 손만 더. No, no, 어려. Boy, no, no, 어려. Boy, no, no, 어려. 둘러싼 수가 call me Whoa. Baepsae, Baepsae, Saturday, Bali, Tracy. 금수처럼 생겨나는 sunset. 난 뱀수 다리 확대 다리 그대만 하지 내 다리 백만불 다리 내게 짧은데 어디 가든 접목하네 넥셀도 가든 초원에만 괜찮아 무박 트랙 파시지는 원해 maintain 그렇게는 아주 true bang bang 이거 정상이야 노릇노릇 다리 그 맘도 아우그라니 너는 손발도 I know 공평하다 you crazy 이게 정이란 you might be kidding me you might be kidding me you might be kidding me 다른 척들만도 아우그라니 너는 손발도 아이 노노려 아이 노노라 그런 싹수가 너랑 다른 건 그만도 아우그라니 너는 손발도 노노려 그런 싹수가 우린 뱀새야 심한 것이고 우린 뱀새야 이름 간판에 우린 뱀새야 같이 살자고 우린 뱀새야 뱀새야 경파제 이 Saturday Friday Chasing
Wow. Man, that was nasty. Of course, I'm looking for another one. Ooh, 2020 Festa. We ain't going rogue right now. Don't even get any ideas. That was nasty in a good way. For those of you reading the subs and learning English on this little channel, I'm trying to ruin your learning. Man, this was awesome. That little dance break with Hobie. And those hip thrusts. What? Stop. So given that, I know everybody loves a good hip thrust from the boys, but I gotta say, I wonder, based on what the explanation video was saying, are the hip thrusts also a way of saying to the older generations? I probably shouldn't have used that sound effect, because we know means, and not, you know what I mean? Maybe I want like a sensor beep. That's what I should put there. A beep, because you know what I'm saying. The way they put that in the explanation video, very clever. The way they wrote it, bravo. But does the hip thrust mean that extra to the, you know, kind of giving some emphasis to the message? These guys are awesome. So much power. And it's music. Music's so powerful. Ooh. The lyrics. I mean, it's about a little adorable bird. But it's not. So smart. All right, that's enough doting on the boys. I got things to do. No, I don't. I should just keep watching videos. Oh, this is good. So much energy. Now I'm just stalling. All right, so this was the explanation for Baepsae and the live from I don't know where, but it was awesome. I'm Roscoe, your BTS buddy. Look out for each other. We have a long gin ahead of us.